Intro music.
Overview narration. Overview narration.
Oh, doctor!
My name is James,
My name is Joey.
and this is the Brothers Padre.
James, as we talked about last episode, we're people of influence. Our opinion matters. We dropped a couple negative pods in a row. And what did the pods say to our negative pods? They said, okay, we'll turn those frowns upside down. Because it's a recap episode, James. Recap what happened this week, not to spoil it. But we're much happier today.
We are much happier. There were high fives. There were, this is week. We're recapping the week of June 17th. And there is no bad here. Not to spoil it.
Yeah.
But domination comes to mind.
Yeah. Come off a very, very rough week. There was no other way to say it before. Went 1-5. And
Our worst week of the year.
And we, as every week in the recaps, we predict what we think is going to happen, James. Do you remember what you said last week for this week?
I believe I said 5-2.
You said 5-2. I said 4-3. And you're just going to have to stick around in the end to see which one of us got it right. As always, remember to follow us on Twitter at Brothers Padre. We appreciate you listening to us. Thanks for all the lovely feedback. And James, shall we just jump into it?
Yes, we should.
As the colloquial broadcasters say. James, the Scarlet Terrors come into town. But whatever, we're not scared of a stupid color. We beat them 6-4, James. The San Diego Padres see the Cincinnati Reds, and we beat them on 6 runs and 7 hits on no errors. And the Cincinnati Reds, 4 runs on 9 hits and 0 errors, James.
This was the first game that the Petco Park was a full capacity. It was reopening day, and it felt like a playoff game. It was exciting. Everyone was cheering. The Hosmer, we were winning up until the 6th inning?
The eighth inning.
Eighth inning.
Yeah.
The Reds.
Yeah, the 8th inning. The 9th inning. They had no runs till the 9th inning.
We were up 2-0.
Yep.
The Reds score 4 runs off Mark Melanson. First major blowout of the year, but we've been using him a lot. Bottom of the 9th comes up. Struggling. Eric Hosmer comes up and hits a 2-run homer to tie the game.
Yep.
Everyone cheers. Everyone's excited. We
Pandemonium in the crowd.
I was fortunate to have be at your house during this game.
Yep.
You made lovely dinner for us.
Yep.
FYI, if you were ever invited to Joey's house for dinner, have him grill you up some broccoli. I don't know how he does it, but your grilled broccoli, like 5-star.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Only thing I do well.
That's what your wife says too.
Whatever.
About everything.
Oh. I thought it was going to be a positive pod.
It is. I said you did something well. Anyway, so, and then we're thinking, okay, we can go into the extra innings now. We have a better bullpen.
Right.
But no. You want to know who disagreed with that statement?
Who, James?
Victor Carantini.
Dude.
He hits a 2-run homer to win the game. First walk-off home run the Padres have all year long. And, of course, it comes from Captain Clutch. It was an amazing ball game.
I would say watch the highlights on MLB app or on MLB.com and just watch the crowd.
Yeah.
Just lose it. The Eric Hosmer, I posted on Twitter, a short clippings. I just looped that clip of the crowd just going insane. It's just everyone's high-fiving everyone. People are jumping up and down rows to high-five each other. It was insane. I mean, this is a game. This is in June, and it's just people are so hyped for a good team on sellout day. And then Hosmer hits that home run, everyone goes bananas. And then Caratini hits a walk-off, and it felt like it was such a good palate cleanser after such a horrible stretch of games. And we're like, that's right, we can hit home runs. We do have clutch hitters. And What's to note in this too is that Tatis and Manny homered earlier in the game. Wade Miley for the Reds actually threw a no hitter until the sixth.
Yeah, it was Wade Miley and Joe Musgrove went head to head. The only downside is, and you hear this a lot about Musgrove, he didn't get the win because they blew in the ninth.
Melanson struggled. You know, I mean, it was one negative about it. One negative about this week is Melanson is way overused and he doesn't have the sharpest stuff. But this is the biggest blow of his time. This is like his first real blown save.
Yes,
and it was epic. It was a very big blown save. But these Padres.
Let's clarify that in case people don't understand what we mean by real blown save. Is because his other two blown saves of the year happened in extra innings that start off with a runner at second, 2 ground balls, and the other team scored, and they were tied blown save. Those are extra Manfred blown saves. They're not actual blown saves.
Right. But I mean, this sets the tone for the entire homestand because it just shows that we weren't. If your name wasn't Tommy Pham, Fernando Tatis, all of a sudden you had an opportunity to contribute, and that was an awesome thing you'll see in the rest of the games. Shall we move on, James?
Yes.
The might as well Kentucky Reds came into town because Kentucky, literally, is at Cincinnati Reds Stadium is right across the river. You have to fly into Kentucky to go to Cincinnati Reds Stadium. All players fly into Kentucky, then drive to Cincinnati. Why aren't you just the Kentucky Reds? Regardless, the might as well Kentucky Reds came to town, the San Diego Padres, and San Diego Padres were like, no. We don't like Kentucky people here. That's not true. We like Kentucky people.
We do like.
I don't know anyone that's from Kentucky, but
our sister spent a summer in Kentucky
is
once
she from
at a youth
Kentucky?
camp. No, but I'm just saying. Yeah, whatever.
Cincinnati Reds.
If you're a Kentucky listener, we love you. Come on our podcast.
San Diego Padres say, we're going to beat you again on 8 runs on 12 hits and no errors. And the Cincinnati Reds had 2 runs on 6 hits upon no errors off a very good Chris Paddock start and off a very, very bad Centillan start. That guy, the Cincinnati Reds pitcher, didn't have it.
No, he didn't. He was throwing beach balls up there. But, Paddock, you can't... 5 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, matches a career high. He was the Paddock of old. Mm-hmm. It's always... we've said it before, he seems to be turning it around, definitely. His last 4 starts have been sheriff-esque Paddock, and it's been very good to see. And if we can get him doing that the rest of the year, and Lamette's coming back looking sharp... We've said it before, it's the best rotation in baseball. It is truly the best rotation in baseball when our 4 and 5 guys could go up against other teams' 1 and 2 guys.
Yep. Stop me if you heard this before, but Tommy had a good game. Let off the game with a home run. Will Myers had a 2 home run game.
Currently, the leader in the most home runs the Padres hit in Petco Park.
Yep.
Like at the end of it, they said, "So you're the most home runs at Petco Park. How does it make you feel?" He goes, I think I'm just a placeholder because I don't know, maybe Manny or Toddy could get one. I don't know."
Really good showing from the offense. I thought it was, just kind of what you expect from a team that we have this much expectation against a worse team. So you just you click and you capitalize on bad pitches and you score lots of runs. Of note, not really that noteworthy, but I thought it was interesting. The home plate umpire had to leave after the first, so there was a 3 umpire game. Had 0 relevance in the game, but I just don't see that every day.
It was the first time I've ever seen it. It was a high pitch. The catcher missed it, bounced right off the top of the from Paddock. It bounced right off the top of the umpire's head. Some umpires choose to wear helmets, some don't. This umpire was not wearing a helmet. I'm pretty sure his next game he was wearing a helmet.
Yeah,
because he got dinged pretty hard.
Yeah, he was wearing a face mask, and then next game he was wearing a hockey helmet.
Yeah,
which is he should just wear a hockey helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Paddock can throw 98 miles an hour, and it was one of those pitches, and it hit him right in the head. again, Victor Carantini immediately got up and started helping the guy out. The man's a saint.
Yeah.
I don't know how saints become saints, but I think Catholic Church get on that.
He's got to be the saint of Puerto Rico at this point.
Exactly.
The Puerto Rican church needs to saint him.
Exactly.
I'm not going to make that GoFundMe or, the online campaign, but someone else should. Someone else.
Our huge Puerto Rican listeners group should.
Which have much sway.
Saint Victor.
Yeah, Saint Victor. Shall we move on, James, to Game 3 of the Red Series?
I think one more thing we have to note is Hosmer got another hit, and he was also robbed of a home run.
Yeah.
So he is definitely, his bat is hitting, and he's hitting very well right now.
He doesn't have what we'd say results. Well, I mean, I don't mean to be democking him, but he's hitting the crap out of the ball. It's just fine. It's a lot like what Tommy Pham was first part of the season.
Yes.
Where it's like he's hitting the crap out of the ball, and his approach is really, really good.
He's hitting the ball like he did was the first 2 weeks of
Yes.
of MLB when he won MLB player National League Player of the Week.
Yep.
He's hitting like that again, and it's all good.
Yep. Shall we move on to game number 3?
Yes, please.
On Saturday, June 19th, in the year of our Lord 2021, we welcome in the Skyline Chili sponsored Reds. Are you familiar with Skyline Chili, James?
No.
Skyline Chili is famous only in Cincinnati, which, as we discussed, might as well be Kentucky. It isn't really chili. It's like a what's it called? What's those sandwiches where you put chili?
Sloppy Joes?
Like Sloppy Joes, but they put cheese on it.
All relevant information.
Very relevant, because like a Sloppy Joe, we beat them like Sloppy Joes. I don't know. The San Diego Padres beat the Cincinnati Reds 7-5, 7 runs on 11 hits on no errors, and the Cincinnati Reds had 5 runs on 10 hits upon 2 errors. And this was a bullpen game, which always filled me with dread and anxiety. But we pieced it together off the back of Miguel Diaz, Daniel Camarena, Norwood, Nabil Krismat, and Mark Melanson. 2 of those people are no longer on a roster.
Well, so here's the thing about the 3-2 victory against the Reds. We reset the lineup, our pitching rotation, as Yu Darvish was scheduled to start. And so earlier in the season, the Dodgers did the exact same thing to face us.
Right.
But we ended up winning that series anyways. So we thought we'd return the favor and restart the rotation and have Darvish start on Monday against the Dodgers.
Yep. So we're like, well, let's take... That's the right call, right? Who's the worst lineup to face with the hodgepodge of pitchers? And it's going to be the Cincinnati Reds lineup.
Yes.
So I think it was a smart decision. It lots of fun time. It was a fairly close game because Diaz gave up 2 earned runs, and then Camarena gave up 3 earned runs. The Reds were winning most of the game. They were winning the first 2 innings, and then they tied up in the 5th. So it was a close game. But was there anything cool that happened later in the game, James?
I mean, are we talking about our man Will Myers?
We're talking about Will Myers and also the handsomest man in all baseball.
Oh, that's right.
Fernando Tatis Jr. dove. This was this week, by the way. It seems like forever ago. He dove and he perturbed his dainty little shoulder, and so he was taken out of the game. And in comes in Ha-Sung Kim, the Lord of South Korea, as I like to call him, the handsomest man in all.
Handsomest.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Did Mike just murder you?
I don't know what happened there.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Stay
Mike
there,
literally just jumped at James.
I kicked it with my foot.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, Ha-Sung Kim, if he was a movie star, he'd be James Bond.
Oh, yeah. He's just so handsome. What a handsome man. But this is of relevance because Ha-Sung Kim comes up in the 8th inning. We're tied up 5-5, and a spot normally reserved for Fernando Tatis Jr. comes up big with a 2-run homer into the Western Metal Supply building. James and I, one of the games we're like, I wonder if anyone's ever hit a ball into one of those windows or into one of the doors and just gone into a suite. Well,
It did.
It did.
Kim was like, "Yeah, I'll try it. That looks like fun for me."
First time he got the swag chain. Mm-hmm. Won't be the first time he gets it all weekend. Spoilers. Gets a curtain call, does Gangnam Style, which everyone loved. It was just a huge home run, and just go ahead and watch that highlight over and over again. He's such a confident guy.
He's a very confident guy. So the thing about the Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
So earlier in the season, earlier in the series, there was a bit of a delay because of the umpire.
Right.
And Blake Snell and Fernando Tatis Jr. wanted to get the crowd, and they started doing a dance off.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get Ha-Seong Kim to do Gangnam Style. Ha-Seong Kim, being from South Korea, didn't want to do Gangnam Style because...
Right, it's degrading.
And he started doing it, and all of a sudden 40,000 people started cheering for him. And so now it's his thing.
But if he's into it, I'm into it. Jake Cronenworth, who deserves to be in the All-Star game, make sure to vote today and tomorrow.
Today's the last day.
Hopefully we'll release this today so that today matters. Today being Thursday, June 24th. Has a home run. Manny bases clearing double early in the game. We didn't talk about the delay. Votto got very mad and got ejected and just delayed the game 5 minutes. And I don't know if that's really noteworthy, but he got very mad.
It was the previous game that happened.
Oh, the previous delay was when they were doing the umpire. I forgot the umpire.
Yeah, there was several. There was
I understand.
The second game of the series was the umpire. That's when Gangnam Style started.
Right.
Then the third day, Votto got ejected, and then their Reds manager got ejected.
Yep.
There was that cute thing that happened. The only one Ohio fans out there. Did you see that tweet? Yeah. The little girl was from Ohio, and she was so excited to see Joey Votto and got kicked out. And the mom posted a picture of her crying because Votto won't play. And then
because sadness is clout.
Yeah, exactly. In this society, I like it when big league ball players realize that they're entertainers.
Yeah.
And they're better than most entertainers because they're nice people.
Yeah. He might be the best Joey in baseball. I don't know if that's really a huge statement, but at some point we're going to have to draft the best Joeys and James. But I think he might be the top.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put that on the docket of something I definitely have to do. Anyway, so he sees it. He invites them back. He gets the Padres to give him tickets right by the dugout.
Right.
He signs a ball, little specialty ball for her, takes a bunch of photos. At the end of the game, he gave her a batting gloves. Like he did right by this fan, and that's the kind of thing you love about baseball.
Right.
And mad respect for Joey Votto. Always had respect for Joey Votto. He's always been a good player, but I always like it when players do that. It's like when there's that great meme. Manny Machado's up to bat at in New York, and there's this fan of him just cheering him on, and Manny Machado's like waves at him and loves him. And then also, what is it in Colorado? That kid with the Manny Machado Orioles jersey.
Yep.
I've been a fan of yours since we lived in Baltimore, and Manny Machado gave him batting gloves, and it's the kind of stuff that it doesn't mean a lot to the players, but it means so much to the fans. It means so much to the fans watching it, falling in love with these players. Again, they're entertainers. They're there to entertain us. And it's always great when it happens. So shout out to Joey Votto. You are a great guy.
Yeah.
Although I want you to do well other than against San Diego.
We end our tour of the ravenous Rojos, James. They come into town Sunday, June 20th.
We just talked about it. It was the bullpen game.
Sunday?
Yeah.
June 20th, 2021?
Yeah.
No, it was not a bullpen game. Game 4 was not a bullpen game.
Oh, yeah, that was against...
I wouldn't know because I missed the first 2 innings finding parking.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong spot in the notes. We're professionals.
Only professionalism here at the Brothers Padre.
Yeah.
We're trained broadcaster.
Yep.
San Diego Padres welcome Cincinnati Reds into town, and we beat them 3 runs on 7 hits on no errors. And Cincinnati Reds had 2 runs, 8 hits on 2 errors.
Nelson Lamet was dominant.
One of those errors lost them the game. So, I was lucky to be at this game for the little bit I was. It was I first sell out anything I've been. Last podcast we talked about this, but first sell out anything I've been to in 16 months, and man, traffic sucks. But
I know I don't think I'll be able to make it to. Occasionally, with my side gig, I can drive to I have to drive to LA, and during the pandemic, I would set my cruise control to 75, stay in one lane the entire way up there,
That's
and
not gonna happen.
I could get to LA in an hour and a half. But now it's
It's all messed up again.
Yep.
Nelson Lamet pitched a nice game, 4 hits on 1 walk and 7 strikeouts in 5 innings pitched. Gets the victory. A very good. Amelia Pagan kind of scuffles a little bit. Him and Melanson did not have the greatest of weeks. Comes in, gives up 2 hits and 2 runs, 1 walk. But that's okay because Will Myers hits a triple that Joey Votto accidentally spikes, and it becomes a Little League home run. So 2 men were on base, so it becomes a 3-run double, 3-run triple with an error.
And he scores, yes.
Right. But yeah, it never felt like the Reds were in control of the game. It never really felt like they had upper hand, and that's what you want. Despite having Nicholas Castellanos and Jesse Winker, they did not prove to be that pesky run creation-wise. And with that, James, that makes a sweep of the Cincinnati Reds.
First time the Padres have swept the Cincinnati Reds since 2011.
Wow.
We've mentioned this from our very first episode preview of the season. The Padres are killing demons. This team is dominating, and this might not be the best beating the Cardinals was probably one of the bigger demons, but it just shows that we are a for real team. Last time we beat them was we were in the playoffs.
I will say one thing: the Reds bullpen, it stinks a lot.
Oh, it stinks.
It's
totally.
very bad. It's a very bad bullpen. Reds, fix that.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot.
You have
compete.
too good of an offense not to be more in contention.
Yeah. But we'll take bad bullpens, and what we do is, as good teams, we have to beat them, and we did. And also, as good teams, we have to beat other good teams.
Yep.
Because who comes in town for the next 3 games, James?
The dastardly Dodgers.
The Angels, Dodgers. Is it Los Angeles? Just the Angels? Is Los Angeles? Does that translate to Angels?
It's translates to the Angels, yeah.
The Angels, Dodgers?
City of the Angels, yeah.
City of Angels, Dodgers come into town, but not the Angels. City of Angels, Dodgers.
Yeah. Get all of your shit together, LA. This is nonsense.
True. I can't wait to go to see the Los Angeles Angels, who are in Orange County. Irregardless, James.
That's not a real word.
It is so badly used, it now became a word. 'Cause that's how language works. You neuter it so much, it eventually becomes something.
Oh man, that's such a. I hate that word. It's so
I know.
bad.
I knew you would. That's why I said it. Regardless, James. There you go. San Diego Padres welcome in the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we reset our rotation to our 1, 2, and 3 would face their 5, 1, and 2. James, and what happened, James? What happened?
Hugh Darvish, you might have heard of him, has been dominant for a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To say overpowered the Dingers was an understatement. He overpowered them completely.
On 6 runs and 10 hits and 1 error, the San Diego Padres beat the Los Angeles Dodgers, who had 2 runs on 3 hits. Okay. You're not doing anything this game.
At one point,
no errors for the Dodgers.
Darvish had 7 strikeouts in a row. First time a Padres done that since Jake Peavy in 2007. And that was also the last time we had a true ace. This year we have several true aces, but Darvish proved once again he is an ace. The Dodgers pitcher, to say the least, also did not have it.
First inning, allowed 4 runs. Manny Machado takes him deep. Jake Cronenworth with a double also early in the inning to give up 1 run and 3-run homer off Manny, 4-0 Padres before there was an out. So, great start.
Great start. Love to
All
see
these games have great starts.
it was great. Yeah.
Later on, Jake Cronenworth decides, hey, I'm actually the best at second baseman in baseball. I'll hit another home run. Thank you
Exactly,
very much.
yeah.
And
If I am not in the All-Star game after this series, it's a crime against humanity.
it was just, we shut him down. Craig Stammen gave up a run. So does Darvish. But, Mookie Betts was just sat on a fastball for Darvish, which is probably the right approach, right? Like he throws 1,000 pitches, just wait for the one that goes the straightest.
Exactly.
And just be a generational talent like Mookie Betts and hit the ball in center field. And, you just can't be mad at I texted you that. Like, it's like Mookie Betts, though. Like,
You can't be mad at one of the best players in baseball doing that, yeah.
Will Smith comes in and hits a home run off Greg Stammen. But, yeah, it was domination from the Padres pitching. Struck out 16 Dodgers. Man, it was a good win.
And also, he is he reached 1,500 strikeouts. The fastest player any pitcher has ever done that in their career. Now, obviously, Hugh Darvish is a bit older because he was played in Japan for 10 years.
Yep.
But he played it in how many games? 200, fewer than 200 career games.
That was game 197.
And he's at 1,500 strikeouts.
Incredible.
No one's ever done that in less than 200 games in baseball history. And Hugh Darvish is, getting ready for his plaque in the Hall of Fame.
This was the first game where the sticky was banned, James. There was TSA checkpoints, so to speak. No one was caught with anything. And people online were speculating Darvish wasn't going to be as good. But dude's a stud. He throws 11 pitches. He'll figure it out.
Exactly.
So he did figure it out. Darvish versus the Dodgers this season, 20 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 hits allowed, 29 strikeouts. That'll do it. That will do it.
Yep.
That will play at any level.
That's just against the Dodgers, and that's phenomenal.
Shall I move on, James?
Yep.
Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. We have a battle between the two Southpaws, Clayton Kershaw and Blakeus Snell. His name's not Blakeus, just Blake Snell.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not insult the mayor.
Then you Padres say, nay, nay, nay. Dodgers, we will win this one on 3 runs and 4 hits and no errors. Los Angeles Dodgers have 2 runs on 8 hits upon no errors, James. And what happened in the first inning, James?
Jake Cronenworth.
Known good player.
Not maybe as known in the league as he was. Took this opportunity where this game was being broadcast on a national television to show everybody, hey, I deserve to be in the All-Star game, and hits a rocket home run off Clayton Kershaw, known decent pitcher.
Yes.
And Kershaw knew it was gone the second he hit the bat. Second he hit the ball, his head just drooped. And yeah, that's going a mile. We all live in the Crone Zone. We're just happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a pitcher's duel, though. I mean, it really was. Like Kershaw threw a 6-inning pitch, 3 earned runs. Snell had 5 innings pitched, 4 hits on no runs. Nabil Krismet pitches at 2.2 innings pitched. Probably should have been pulled at 3 pitch innings, but we're way overextending our bullpen, so we just want to get as much as we could. He allows 1 run. And the new guy, Mason Thompson, the tallest guy on the Padres rosters.
Which is surprising. The Padres are the tallest team in baseball, if you didn't know that already.
He's 6'8", and he throws a 99-mile-an-hour sinker. And what does he throw all the time? Just one pitch, a 99-mile-an-hour sinker. He just kept throwing the same pitch.
If I could throw a 99-mile-an-hour sinker, that's all I'd throw too.
Did his job. Allowed a walk, but got to get out. And that's all we asked for him. Mark Melancon came in, gave up a homer to Austin Barnes. Known power threat, Austin Barnes. Not a known power threat. But that's baseball for you. Gets the save. And of note, also, James, is Ha-Sung Kim. Heard of him?
I have.
It was 2-0, James. And he pinch hits for this point for Snell. Kershaw gets up 0-2. Second pitch he throws is the patented Clayton Kershaw monster curveball. Starts in the heavens and ends up in hell. Like it's gnarly pitch, right? And Clayton Kershaw throws it back to back. The thing is, though, the KBO is filled with great breaking ball pitchers. And Ha-Sung Kim likes breaking ball pitches. And what does Ha-Sung do? Hits a moonshot off of Clayton Kershaw and pitch hit home runs and gets his second swag chain of the week, James.
So the funny thing about that lineup, and I was that particular sequence is the previous curveball. He swings and misses and looks bad. He has this like surprised look on his face. I think he clearly missed it, but then he added a little extra flourish because that's what the KBO does. You watch the KBO; they're all about extra, trying to they're all performance artists on the KBO.
Well, because it's meant to be entertaining.
Yeah, because he swings his bat and he jerked his head a little bit further, his helmet flight off, and he was at this look of like, oh no, and this was also since it was nationally broadcast. Like I remember whoever the analyst was, but you don't think he sees that many curveballs like that before, and then he hits the home run. They go, you know what? I think he might have been duping Clayton Kershaw to make him think he could throw another one of those. And that's exactly what happened. He hit it, and you could tell by his face. He was like, "Oh, I beat you, Kershaw. You fell for it." The second I missed it, I threw a little extra. Like, what was that? I've never seen one of those type of pitches in all my years. He does it again, and he goes down and gets it. It was incredible.
I mean, I don't know. I
give the Oscar to Ha-Sung Kim.
I think it's a dangerous game if you do the scouting report on him. Throwing a breaking pitch in the zone, just probably not the greatest idea. Probably should have tried to overpower him with fastballs, but didn't. So we're thankful for that because that ended up being the winning run. Padres win 3-2, James. At this point in the week, James, both of our predictions are wrong. I said 4-3, you said 5-2, and this would make it 6-0, James. Never happier to be wronger.
Never happier, yeah. Blake Snell dominant again, and we tweeted back and forth. He's the best interview in baseball.
Oh yeah,
he is so openly and honest. He'll just tell you exactly what's happening. And I tweeted you. I think he should run when he's done with baseball. He should run for public office and be mayor of Seattle or San Diego, wherever he wants to be.
Right.
Seattle's where his hometown is, but I think we could elect him in San Diego.
Yeah.
Just could you imagine him being?
Be awesome.
It'd be awesome. City council, you just have to do better. I'm gonna put you on timeout. If you don't get your act together. You know. I love you, union workers, but I'm gonna go play some video games. And he walks off. It'd be awesome. I elect Blake Snell.
That'd be awesome. But James, all things must come to an end. Who am I kidding, James? We just play one more game against the Dodgers. On Wednesday, June 23rd, Trevor Bauer faces off maybe our best pitcher? Not really. But maybe our best pitcher, Joe Musgrove. And the San Diego Padres say, hey, we're the best in this quote-unquote rivalry. Because rivals, though, have to be equally as good as each other.
This is true.
I don't think that happened this series because we beat them 5 runs and 7 hits and 1 errors, 3 runs and 5 hits on no errors for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And what do we do in the first inning, James?
Jake Cronenworth, we haven't mentioned him at all this interview.
I don't think we mentioned him ever.
No. He hit a home run in the first 2 games, and he decided, you know what? You know it'd be cool. You know what the fans would like? Like me to hit a home run again in the next first inning off of good old Bauer boy here. Mm-hmm. Amazing home run. And then Manny Machado said, you know what? I'm going to hit a home run off of this guy that I dominate.
Yep.
So here's a fun thing. So back-to-back home runs. Trevor Bauer, the last 3 at-bats against Manny Machado, has thrown nothing but sliders. He threw 21 sliders in a row. And the 21st one, Manny Machado was like, oh, I understand this now. And just hits a moonshot. Out in left field, there's a tightless ball.
Yeah.
If you hit it, somebody wins an award. And he hit that. Well, he was going to hit it if a player didn't make a fantastic catch. Lean
Yeah,
over
the
there and
might
grab
be
it.
the greatest fan catch of the year.
Oh yes, exactly. Well, the lady with the baby.
That's true.
I mean,
That's pretty good.
but as far as over the railing grab,
Yeah.
this guy put his life in the line, and he grabbed it. It was amazing, and then it was just amazing. Cronenworth, all-star.
Dodgers come back to tie it in this game. It's the first time it's been tied, not at 0-0, which is a funny stat too. Most of the time we've been tied with the Dodgers this series, it's been just 0-0 because they come back to tie it. In the seventh, we get run one back. Victor Caratini waits on a curveball from Bauer and deposits into right field. Joe Musgrove pitches 6 innings pitch, 2 hits, 2 runs and 1 earned run. Fernando Tatis Jr. Spikes a double play ball. Probably wouldn't have gotten Matt Beatty, and it's also an incredibly tough play. Tatis,
He probably shouldn't have thrown it. He was
right,
but it was safe by a mile.
right. But as people say, what do you not want the freak superstar athlete to try to make freaky plays? No, you're going to want that all the time.
True.
And I think that's something he'll fix. I'm not going to fault him for botching a throw or after jumping over a guy.
Yeah.
It's much different than his other errors earlier in the season. But San Diego Padres get one back. Los Angeles Dodgers get another back in the eighth, and it felt like the first time in the series, this felt like in previous Padres series, it was super close the entire time. In the eighth inning yesterday, this is the Dodgers Padres. They are neck and neck, and they are ready to. It's going to be a crazy game. The eighth inning appears. I should also note we haven't talked about this in series. That's a huge highlight. It's Manny Machado is like a platinum glover.
Oh, I was gonna wrap up the whole.
Yeah, we'll go there in a second. Yeah, there's so much we have to say about Manny Machado, but I'll finish this up first. In the eighth inning, the Dodgers just start walking us, which we love getting walked. We just love it. We just get tons of walks. Trent Grisham comes up with the bases loaded. Actually, before it happens, it's second and third, 1 out, and Will Myers comes up to bat. Dave Roberts elects to walk Myers with the bases loaded. And a lot of Dodger Twitter was very mad about that. I think it's the right call.
To keep the double play ball.
Right, keep the double play in order. But who would you rather face? If you're someone, would you rather face Trent Grisham or Will Myers right now?
Well, the thing is, their pitcher was a lefty, and they had to face, because of the Manfred rule, had to face one more batter.
Right.
So and Will Myers is hitting like 325 off this pitcher.
Oh, earlier in this inning too, which is what started it too, is Cronenworth gets a double, right? Because he's he's an all-star, and Manny Machado comes up, and he hits an infield single, hit an infield grounder to Justin Turner. Justin Turner turns to second base because Cronenworth kind of hey, I'm gonna go towards third, and then he double pumps back to first. All the while, Manny's having elite sprint speed, beating out, get an infield single. Eric Hosmer lays down a perfect sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, exactly. Where's he been hiding that skill in his career?
Ideal. So second and third, 1 out. And that leads up to the situation where they choose to load the base loaded with Trent Grisham. It's the right. I think it's the right move. I don't. It's not that much you should complain about because it's the right move. But Trent Grisham, because he has great plate discipline, earns the walk. They walk in a run, and Mr. Clutch himself, Victor Caratini, comes up and scalds the ball. But the right fielder this time actually caught the ball because previously bobbled a double for Cronenworth, and he got the ball. But it was good enough for a sacrifice fly. 5-3 Padres. And that led us into ninth inning where Mark Melanson, I wouldn't say scuffled, but just had people on base. 1 out, first and second. Pitch hit Mr. Albert Pujols, first ballot Hall of Famer. And he lines into a double play, but not just a normal line and double play. It's a typical Manny hyper athleticism, baseball IQ. He just nabs it and in one fell swoop throws it to second for Cronenworth, double play. Padres sweep the Dodgers.
It was as beautiful of a thing as you've ever seen. I was trying to kick the mic again. This studio sucks. Anyway, so I have been to several national parks in this country. I have seen the sunrise over the Grand Canyon. I've seen the sunset in Bryce Canyon. I have been in an eye of a huge thunderstorm in the middle of Zion National Park where I saw lightning strike trees on fire and then the rain put them out all night. It was the most glorious thing I've ever seen in nature and true experience of God's power. It pales in comparison to sweeping the Dodgers.
Yeah, nature's cool and all, but have you ever seen the Padres sweep the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Oh, it took a million years to make those glaciers. Cool. Have you seen this Manny Machado double play?
Yeah, exactly. And what I was saying is the real, for everybody that wonders why we gave Manny Machado so much money,
Dude,
watch this series. He was everywhere.
yeah.
He hit a home run. He's a threat at the plate. His defense alone is worth $200 million of that $300 million contract. I think personally, if we don't have him on our team, we don't win that series.
No way.
Cronenworth and him were the two, and Victor. But this series, this 7 games entirely, all of our players contributed.
Yep.
And that's why we won 7 in a row. But Manny Machado deserves every credit. He is truly one of the best baseball players in the league, and he proved it. And the funny thing is, Dave Roberts was complaining about our it's called the 2-1-1-D shift, where Manny Machado's in short right field.
Yeah.
And Dave Roberts is all, it's such a baseball's got to get down on the outlaw these shifts. And then everyone was tweeting photos of Dodgers' weird shifts they're doing.
Yeah, everyone does it.
And I'm sorry that ours works. And that we have this, like you said, platinum Glover that's out there that could easily be a right fielder or a center fielder if he wasn't the best defensive third baseman we've ever had.
I mean, the guy has so much range in that short right field. That's why he's there. And he has a cannon. So, you've seen multiple Mac Muncy hits. He'll catch them. He'll either catch the line drive, he'll leap, and it's like a normal single, but he just leaps and gets them, or it's a grounder to him, and he just charges, grabs it, and it's so hard to understand. It's so trippy watching someone this athletic and watching how he does it, because he's blowing bubbles, doing extreme athletic things, charging the ball in one fluid motion, transfers to his hand, sidearms it 90 feet to Eric Hosmer, and you're like, oh, he's blowing a bubble. But the amount, effortless athleticism. That's what AJ Preller said when he scouted Manny when Manny was a 16-year-old. He said in the batting cages, he's the only kid he's ever seen who could just stay in the batting cages forever. Because everything about effortlessness, athleticism, just this really, it's just, his athleticism is just so natural that he can be dominant. He can play every game, and he can make all these crazy plays. And in this Dodgers series, he almost twice runs down balls in the corner of the right field. He's an incredible third baseman. Robbed Mookie Betts multiple times of hits, multiple line drives, and he is such a good athlete. And Joe Musgrove got kind of went off on Manny haters yesterday. Basically saying people that complain about Manny Machado not hustling, he's like, this guy has the greatest baseball IQ. His IQ off the charts, baseball IQ off the charts. The dude plays every single game and literally can make plays no one else in the world can make. And you saw that in the series. He's like, this guy, Manny Machado wanted to win, he won. It felt like that. It felt like Manny wanted to win, and he put him out of position to be the winning player. And man, I don't know. It was awesome. Just the defensive highlights alone watch Manny's defensive highlights, and you're just like, this guy's insane. But yeah, Trevor Bauer after the game said they absolutely kicked our butts in the intensity standpoint. They came to play, and we didn't. Which
they never had. They never had the lead. The Reds games were closer than the Dodgers games.
Right. They never had the lead. We don't sweep the Dodgers that often. And you wonder why. I mean, 2 years ago we faced the Dodgers with people like Manuel Margot, Josh Naylor, Hunter Renfroe, Seth Meas-Breen, Luis Arias, and Austin Hedges, and Joe Lucchese were people part of the lineup the last time we met the Dodgers in 2019. The makeup of our team is so drastic from that.
That was just 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago. 2019. And 2019, end of 2019, that was like a lineup that we had against the Dodgers. And to say that we go from that to where we are now and dominate with an incredible lineup, like, that's exactly what you want, right? And it was awesome to kind of have validation of like, we need validation, but we are a good team, and we have to keep playing this well. And we definitely turned it up for the Dodgers, and we won. And you have to beat good teams, and you have to beat bad teams. That's how this works to be a playoff team. You have to beat both. And this stretch was rough. I mean, played 33 games in 34 days. We ended up 18-15 that stretch. Not bananas incredible, but still good.
But that was the end of that 20-game stretch that was just sort of killed us. But now that we're rested back home, off day today, off day on Monday.
Yeah.
The Padres have played 4 more games this year than the Dodgers have. Mm-hmm. And we've played 5 more games this year than the Giants have.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that means, and I've looked at their schedules, both the Giants and the Dodgers have long 20-game stretches like we do, but they have it the next half of the season.
Yep.
So the advantage of that is the Padres, we're still in it. We're second place now.
Yeah. I mean, we're 4.5 games back, but it's still before the All-Star break. And baseball, we could go in and sweep 2 series with the Giants or win 2 series from the Giants in September and get the division.
Yeah.
Right.
What I'm saying is the Giants are an older team.
Yeah.
They're one of the older teams in baseball. A 20-game stretch like that might kill a few of their players. And the Dodgers, I don't know if you noticed this, are a bit pouncier than they have been in years past.
I think it's that.
Like
there's a World Series sophomore slump, whatever. It's just like,
well, they've put on a few pounds, literally. Wow. Like Max Muncy, he's a bit more rotund. Bellinger, he's getting up there in weight.
Wow.
I'm not fat shaming anybody but the Dodgers. I just think they're gonna, in their 20-game stretch, they're gonna be lumbering, huffing and puffing.
Yeah, I think that this is the toughest part of our schedule. September, we have a rough month, but it's baseball. You have to play these teams anyway. It's not like it's unusual to play some of these people.
Well, yeah, we're playing the Dodgers and the Giants a lot in September.
Yeah, we're playing Dodgers and Giants.
It's not like
the Braves.
It's not going to be a 20-game stretch like last time.
Yeah, the biggest stretch is 11 games.
Yeah,
but
and the thing is with the Braves, they can barely stay at 500.
Yeah, we face Houston, Arizona for 1 game, the Angels, the Cardinals, the Braves, and Dodgers and Giants. Yeah, but I think the rest of our schedule is much lighter than that. But yes, James, any thoughts before we move on to next week?
Fantastic week. I've never been so happy to be so wrong. 7-0, Joe.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
7-game winning streak. Much to be happy about, James. As is tradition around these parts, we make predictions for next week, the next set of games. And there'll be 6 games. 3 games versus the Arizona Diamondbacks at home, and then 3 games versus Cincinnati Reds. Then after that, we'll go to Philly, but we're only going to talk about the Diamondbacks and Red games. James, what is your prediction for those 6 games?
I went first last week, so you tell me yours.
I don't want to lose a game to the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks are currently on a 23-game losing streak on the road.
No one wants to be the combo breaker of that. But also, like, it's got to give at some point.
Exactly.
It's got. And I could see them. I don't know. I say this. I've said this last time. I feel like they should have better games, but they keep losing people. Ketel Marte went down. Carson Kelly went down. Their best hitter is David Peralta. They have Eduardo Escobar and Christian Walker, I guess. Those are all fine players, but their pitching just isn't getting better. So if they get someone back from the IL, like Luke Weaver or Zach Gallen or Madison Bumgarner this weekend, we're gonna lose a game if they get one of their starting pitchers back. That's my prediction. If they get one of their guys back this weekend, we're going to lose that game because that guy's going to be like, you guys all stink. And he's just going to carry them all on his shoulders and try to shut someone down. So I think we're going to go 2-3 versus the Diamondbacks. I think we're going to sweep the Reds again. I don't think they're any better at home. And the Reds ballpark is tinier. So I feel like we're going to go off on them. So I'm going to say we are going to be 5-1.
All right, so I was saying 5-1 too, but I think we sweep the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
I think just because our longest win streak at home this year was 9 in a row. I think we do 10 in a row.
Okay.
I think we lose one to Cincinnati. They are at home. They do have if Miley's starting against us, it's going to be tough. He's a good pitcher. I think we lose one to Cincinnati. And we sweep the Diamondbacks. So still 5-1.
Okay.
All right.
Huh, James? Well,
I cannot, even if Madison Bumgarner comes off the IL, he's still coming off the IL.
I wonder, so...
And they still don't, even if they get all of their starting pitchers back, their bullpen still stinks.
Zach Gallen is supposed to pitch on Sunday. He's posting a 3.67 ERA. But tomorrow, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. This is just, I definitely did not read that right. Corbin Martin will be pitching for the Diamondbacks tomorrow. Care to guess his ERA?
7.2.
You're very kind. 8.62.
Wow.
Not good, James.
Not good at all. Not good at all.
Last outing versus the Dodgers gave up 4 earned runs on 3 innings pitched, 7 hits. Then on Saturday, Merrill Kelly, who has had some success against the Padres, but just not having as strong of a season. The 5 earned run average, and Zach Gallen has a 3.67 on Sunday. So Zach Gallen's a good pitcher. And Merrill Kelly can be good. But the question is that bullpen. You know,
They don't have one.
they don't have one. I mean, and then they make boneheaded plays. Daniel Vogelbach literally injured his knee coming home. He's hobbling. Like, look it up online. But Daniel Vogelbach, a batter hits a double, and Vogelbach coming from second base. He makes a trip around third, and he's hobbling. He's going.
He blew out his knee. His knee is
Yeah.
like he's out for the season. Blown out his
He's
knee.
one hopping with one leg towards home plate, and the Diamondbacks have
At one point, he stops thinking he's clearly out, but then he realized they bobble it, and so he keeps hobbling.
and then the shortstop is like, "Oh, is it time? Is it time?" And umpire's like, "I can't. There's no time," and he just scores. It was the most boneheaded play for a guy who was going slower than most snails, and he scored. And it was like, man, you're in a tough spot. So, yeah, I think 5-1 sounds good. 6-0 sounds better, but baseball is never that predictable. But I'm excited, James. I'm excited to see the
Me
Diamondbacks.
too. There's no bad here.
No bad. James, anything else to say to the lovely audience before we go?
Make sure you go online and vote for Jake Cronenworth.
Let's hope you can edit this in time and I can post
I will
it.
definitely edit it.
So if you hear this, actually, hold on. I'm going to do some Googling right now. I actually think it ends at 4 p.m. Eastern. It will be over at 4 p.m. Eastern. James.
Oh, so it's already past. It's
can't even-
2 o'clock here.
So all the Jake Cronenworth propaganda we just spewed to nothing, to no avail.
Stupid
I hope he makes it.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
Why do we go by the East Coast anyways? They're the lamest coast.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be a fun week in baseball. We travel again. We travel in a place that's not on the West Coast, so I get to see earlier baseball games. No more 11 p.m. bedtimes. Maybe I'll have dinner after I watch a baseball game this next week, because that's be fun. Listen, I just want 5:40 p.m. start times just across the board.
Across the board, everywhere, yeah.
If it's a 7, I'm dreading going to a night game this year. I'm like, gotta sit in traffic, and then I show up at 7.
I was at that baseball game 2 years ago that lasted 15 innings.
Yeah,
That was when you hear seventh inning stretch twice.
that's hilarious.
It's I made a jumbotron twice. Never done that before. But there was only like 3 people in the stadium, so it was.
That's awesome. Well, James, until next time, remember to like us on YouTube, follow us, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Brothers Padre, or on Apple Podcasts, we're on all podcast apps. You know where to find us. You're beautiful. You're lovely. Keep listening. Until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star on